The New York Jets continue to build, just like my excitement level for this season. We're going to take a closer look at all the moves that Darren Mougey has made, plus preview the draft tonight with Nick Shine from the Nick Shine Show. So, let's get fired up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel while you are here and hit that like button as hard as you can. All right. And tonight we're going to be joined by a special guest that I've wanted to have on the show for a long time, Nick Shine from the Nick Shine Show. How you doing
Oh,
tonight, man?
what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just kind of sitting back and watching all the moves that we're making. And you know what? I just got to say, New York Jets fans kick ass. I got a nice Brooklyn shirt that I'm wearing tonight that one of my subscribers sent me. And even though we had a bad year, even though, people were doing mock drafts in November and people were yelling to fire the coach, the channel just keeps growing, man. And the subscribers keep picking up. And it's awesome. This
Yeah.
community, it the Jets might let me down, but this community does not.
No,
The Jets
that's
fans
the
are
beauty of
fans.
being a Jet fan. Like, I've always said that we don't know each and every one of us, but we know what each and every one of us has gone through. Whether it was Vinny on opening day in '99, whether it was Doug Bryan's field goals, whether it's been horrible draft picks, we all relate. We all have PTJD, right? Post traumatic Jets disorder. Like
Yes,
we are all wired the same. So we're bonded in ways that other people can't understand.
that's definitely the truth because there's things that happen to us. Sam getting mono and like things happen to us that just don't happen to other teams. So Jets fans can definitely relate. But uh, before we get into specific players or anything like that, I want to take a look at a couple of the moves that Muji has already made.
Sure.
Uh, but more importantly, what I want to look at is how he made them. Dude, like 6th round picks, 7th round picks, those are guys that are usually destined to be cut or camp bodies. Or, I mean, if you're like a 6th or a 7th round pick, like your only prayer is carve out a role on special teams if you're going to make the roster. Usually, I mean, being honest about it. So Muji is eliminating the expendable guys that would have been roster bubble guys anyway. Eventual cuts, camp bodies, what have you. Uh, Dude, he's making good trades. We get rid of a 6th and we get Gino in a 7th. We get rid of a 7th and we get Minka Fitzpatrick. Like he's taken picks that are, almost throwaway picks and turning them into viable starters. Like he's made some really savvy moves. So not only do I like the moves he's made, but I like the way that he's going about it.
Yeah. He's moving with intent. He's moving with purpose, and he has no issue going and getting their guys. Whether it was last year with getting Mitchell as a throw-in, getting Brownlee, getting Briggs. We've seen him making these moves that have improved the Jets, and he was doing it with late, throw-in players basically, and late round swaps with the draft picks. So the fact that he has all of this premium draft capital, if he can get the players, put it this way, he gets 2 or 3 players that equal the impact that Membu had on us, you're looking at a team that's going to be trending upward. If you can add to that and say you go 4 for 4, like in a crazy world, let's say he goes 4 for 4 with these first 4 picks, now you're looking at a much improved roster. Because now you're getting premium talent at 2, 16, 33, and 44. And now you can build a team that can be respectable, that can beat you in multiple ways, and is quarterback ready for 27. And that's the goal, in my opinion. Like, I'm not buying the Ty Simpson smoke. I think that they're doing their due diligence, but for me, just build the most perfect roster you can so that 27 quarterback is ready to go.
Right. And, yeah, they had to work out with Simpson, but they also had to work out with Nussmeier. They spent extended time with Taylor Green at the Senior Bowl. I was getting like videos on the phone from somebody that sent me videos of like Jet staff like walking down the side of the field with Taylor Green, talking to him, and like it looked like they spent a good amount of time talking to him. They've met with Sawyer Robinson a couple of times. They're doing their due diligence. They're looking into every one of these quarterbacks, and they should be. I got no problem with that, but it's safe to say that they're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to looking at possibly taking a quarterback somewhere in this draft. Although if it's me, I'm still saying a day 3 guy.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have a 3rd round pick. I don't want to take a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd. So the quarterback discussion starts at Saturday afternoon for me.
Yeah, me too. Like, honestly, the pick at 140 is probably the highest I would spend on a quarterback if it was me. Now, they may take one before that, but if it was me, that's probably where I would start. But as a team, they've gotten better. I think, in the process of Glenn establishing the culture that he's trying to establish, he found out the hard way that certain guys didn't fit. A lot of those guys are moving on. Fine with me. However, now he's building that foundation. And I think he put a lot of it in place, like solidified our depth in a lot of areas. Now it's time to add those prime playmaker guys. But like with the Sweat trade, we got younger and schematically a better fit with that player. His run defense grade was 4th in the NFL. And so he's that big space eater in the middle that we've all been wanting for a while. And, all the DL guys that I'm about to bring up, I think stand to get better from Carl Dunbar being there and being able to help develop them. But dude, Geno Smith coming back and what we got him for, I think is awesome. I don't feel like we're repeating history with bringing Geno back because as a rookie, he was seeing all these things for the first time. Like, he's been around and played a lot of ball since then. And like last year, or 2024 and 2025, Geno was top 5 in completion percentage, passing yards. He had good stats. Last year with Raiders, 67%, ranked 8th in the NFL among quarterbacks with 300 attempts. Like, he's consistent. Like, he's not a world beater, and we know that. But with weapons around him, like Garrett, like A.D. Mitchell, possibly, a draft pick as well, Breece Hall, I think he can be successful. And earlier today, I saw that someone saying that it's 60% Breece Hall gets a new deal after the draft before the season starts, and 40% he plays on the tag. But that equals 100% he's going to be here one way or the other. So I do expect Breece to be a part of that picture. But I think with weapons around him, I think Geno will be just fine. And their line was pitiful in Oakland, or Las Vegas, I'm sorry. But Raiders' line was pitiful. Our line is not. So I think Geno will be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best of the bad options, right? And I think that you have the guy with the most experience. You have the guy who fits what you want to do. You want to have a scheme where you throw from the pocket. I've been saying time and time again, I had no interest in Kyler Murray or Carson Wentz or many other guys. But Mougey he gave them a pick to avoid Geno having options, and they basically said, we're going to just trade for you instead of taking the chance of losing you to go elsewhere. So it's a short-term thing. If maybe it becomes a great thing. Who knows? We've seen other quarterbacks bounce around the league, get in the right scheme, and do great things. I'm not expecting that, but I think we learned from last year that we should harness our hopes and let's just see where it goes, man. If you have a very good football team, you don't need one guy to carry you. You can win as a team, and I think that's the goal, and that's what you want to build. It's a copycat league. And when you look at how the Seahawks just won with putting a lot of premium picks onto the defense and to an offensive line, you have an elite receiver, and then you get the quarterback to come in. Who knows? Do I expect Geno to be Sam Darnold? No. But if Geno can be Geno of 2 years ago and 4 years ago, I think we'll see quality football, and that's a really good start.
Right. If Glenn can fix this defense and it plays to the potential that it should, like average quarterback play can win us some games. And yeah, Geno doesn't have to turn into, it's not like Fields where we're banking on potential and hoping he can become something that he's never been. Like if Geno can just be what he's already been in his career, I think we'll be okay. Also from Vegas, Dylan Parham, consistent, a little bit different style of guard than say AVT. He's a little bit slimmer build, but consistent. Played 62 out of 64 possible games. I think the flexibility of being able to play both guard spots is good. That was a good pickup for us. Before we get into too far into the defensive players, I need you to do me a favor. Pick a number between 1 and 7.
2.
And number 2 is Tommy. The OG Jets fan, Tommy, is the winner of this month's giveaway, which is a kick-ass Jets bomber jacket with a flaming skull on it. Something that I probably myself would wear. But congratulations to Tommy for winning this month's raffle for callers. And just to let everybody know, next month for the draft, every person that calls in for the month of April is automatically entered to the draft day giveaway for an NFL Shop custom jersey for our number 2 overall pick, whoever that may end up being. Be it Reese, be it Bailey, be it Bain, whoever that player is, you'll win a jersey from that player. Now, we may have to wait to see what the player's number is announced to be before we send that jersey out. But regardless, somebody will win a free jersey. So thank you for the assist with that. And yeah, I love giving stuff away on the show. Now, moving on to the defense. In addition to Sweat, who is going to help with our run defense a lot, David Onyemata also ranked top 5 in run stop rate and top 10. Overall, he was 7th in run defense, according to PFF. That's going to be another good piece that's going to help our run D. Kingsley Anibari, a depth piece, he's kind of like our Michael Clements replacement. The way I look at it, has played in all 68 games since entering the league. I think those guys are going to be good additions for us. And another underrated ad before I get into linebackers, Ben Bowling, the linebacker coach that we got from the Texans. Dude, our linebackers were pitiful last year, and the Texans had one of the better defenses in the league. So I think that was a kind of underrated signing for us on the coaching side, and I'm looking for that to pay big dividends, especially with Davis being back. But we also added Joseph Asai, who will be an outside linebacker for us. He's had 2 back-to-back 5-sack years, 45 pressures last year, even though he missed 3 games. And he's one of only 9 players with a pressure rate higher than 11% over the past 4 seasons. So productive player, again, somebody that, with Dunbar and Bowling and those guys over there to help our pass rushers, I'm interested to see what he can develop into, and maybe given a chance to play a little bit more too. Feel free to interject at any time.
Go ahead. You're making good points.
Okay. Dude, Demario Davis being back, leadership. Like, the first thing I think is leadership. I used to love the speeches he would give on the sideline when he was breaking them down and getting guys fired up and getting guys ready to go out there and play. He's that guy that can go out there and get guys lined up in the right spots, like what CJ Mosley used to do. And let Sherwood have to not think. Let him just go out there and play. I think that'll be better all the way around. I was super stoked to see him back. And, dude, career highs in tackles the last 2 years, even though he's getting to be an older player. Since 2012, over 1,500 tackles and 45 sacks is nuts. Like those are crazy numbers. 136 tackles in 2024 and 143 last year. Dude, that's super solid numbers. Still one of the better linebackers in the league. So I'm real super happy to see him back. Minkah Fitzpatrick, another guy, older guy that can bring that leadership to the back end. Since he came into the league, 21 interceptions, 5 defensive touchdowns. I like that about him too. When he takes the ball away, he scores. Those are both top 10 in the league over that span. Nahshon Wright led the league with 8 takeaways last year, 5 picks, 3 fumble recoveries. I think all those guys are going to help. And another really super underrated signing in the back end is Dane Belton. Like, dude, this guy, if you can say anything about him, he is a sure tackler. He will come downhill quick and he will lay a hit on somebody. Since 1994, he's the only player in NFL history to have 100 tackles and 20 special team tackles in the same season. Like, he is a sure tackler, and taking the place of a guy like Tony Adams, like, man, that's just a huge upgrade. There's no other way to look at that. But yeah, it's very hard to look at these additions that we've made, and for me at least, to not get excited for the season, because I feel like we've gotten better in a lot of areas. Now, granted, we have to hit on these draft picks and fill the rest of the holes and kind of complete the picture. But, dude, I can kind of see the picture starting to come together. Like, I see these pieces coming together, and like I'm starting to have like more of a clear picture of what Glenn is trying to build here.
So you do have a plan.
And here it is. We're getting to see it unfold. But
yeah, it's been listen, it was a horrific year one. Nobody can say differently. And wanting someone to succeed and seeing it come together are two different things. And we've been down for so long that we want proof. And nobody had any hope after year one. A lot of our fan base thought he deserved to be fired. And he did deserve to be fired. And if the contract wasn't as ridiculous as it is, he would have been. And the only reason he was maintained is financial reasons, in my opinion. But every decision he's made is a redirection of his original decision. So the only good decision he made in year one was hiring Banjo. Everything else had to be reorganized, reconfigured, or redirected after year one. So you're hoping that you learn, you're hoping that you improve, and you're hoping that the team is better.
Absolutely. And there's no question. Like, he definitely made some big missteps in his first year. But I kind of look at it like, me personally, I think he's not only here this year, but next year as well. I think that it would take a catastrophic failure this year for him to be fired. But that being said, it's kind of like when a player gets 3-year deal, but you're like, really, it's a 2-year deal because after 2 years, the Jets can get out of it. Like, that's the way I kind of look at Glenn's deal. It might be 4 or 5 years, but like after 3 years, if he's not having like visible, tangible success over that duration, he'll be gone. But I do believe that after acquiring all these picks, they're going to let it play out with that. And I think in all fairness, like once we were out of the Mendoza sweepstakes this year, like I think that Woody can see there's not really a franchise quarterback worthy option out there for them to get this year. So I think circumstance alone has kind of given them somewhat of a pass this year. Now, that's not to be said that Woody isn't going to demand and expect to see improvements in every other facet of the team. But I think he'll still be here next year regardless.
Too early to tell. I think you hope he's here, but there's nothing to prove that he will be here at this point. You know what I mean?
I think
we need to see a lot of improvement. We need to see a lot of things change. We need to see a lot of things get better. We need to be a competent football team. I think a lot of things have to go right before we can even discuss if he deserves a year 3.
Right. Which, you know what? Like when people say, like, you know, with Mendoza, like we didn't even tank right. We didn't get the number 1 overall pick. Like that's a fan mentality. Like players want to win games. Like players don't give a shit about tanking. Like, listen, if you're a GM, like nobody wants number 1 overall pick on their resume. A GM doesn't want to say, I built a roster that got me the number 1 overall pick. A coach doesn't want to say, I led a team that got me that pick. Players don't want to say, I contributed to my team getting the number 1 pick. Like nobody wants that. The only person who wants the words number 1 pick on their resume is a guy that was taken with the number 1 overall pick. Other than that, nobody wants that. Like nobody wants that. That being said, we got the number 2 overall pick. What is your preference with that pick?
I mean, I think the pick should be and will be Reese.
I wholeheartedly agree. For no other reason than if he doesn't develop into this monster pass rusher like the potential is there for, you're still getting a really, really good linebacker. Dude, his run defense is awesome, like right now. So, yeah, I think that will definitely be the pick as well. Do you even want to speculate on the other 3 out of 4 top picks?
Our top 4 picks or the NFL draft's top 4 picks?
No, our 4.
I mean, if you go Reese at 2, at 16, you got to be considering Sadiq, Lemon, Vega. I'm not a Ty Simpson guy at all, as you know. But I think worst case scenario for the Jets is if CJ Allen, Sadiq, Lemon, and Vega go 12, 13, 14, 15, and all 4 of those guys are gone at 16. That would be the worst case scenario for me. So right. I would expect that the Jets jump from 16 to go get their player instead of waiting to see how it plays out. You have all of these draft picks. You have the ability to go get your guy. I don't think they stay at 16 and wait. I really don't.
I guess it's going to depend on how the board is unfolding. I completely agree with that, but I would throw the name Thieneman in there as well with the names that you mentioned. I'm a huge fan of his, and it's looking even more and more likely by the day that he probably won't even make it to 16. But if he was there at 16, it would be really, really hard for me to pass on him. With his speed, what he could bring to the back end, like it would be hard for me to pass on him. They've got to be thinking receiver there. Lemon, I don't know if he'll be there. He's such a head case, though. Like that makes me nervous. But say the top 3 receivers are gone, I'd say you would go Ione or Thieneman there, if either are even there. I wouldn't be opposed to CJ Allen, but with them bringing in Davis, and still paying Sherwood, like I don't know if they're going to draft a linebacker high. I want them to, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I'm just going my preferences. I don't know their draft board or their preferences with it, but I just look at building a team from the inside out. You got Sweat in the middle. You add your defensive lineman. Keep adding to it. Build your.
Dude,
Play a 3-4. Build an elite 4.
Yeah, in a perfect world, if you ask me, we stick and pick at 2 and 16, and then move back from 33. Chicago happens to have 57 and 60, like 2 picks that are right together. If you could move 33 and get those 2 picks back, I would do that all day long. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to sit around and talk about who we would take where, but it all depends on how the board unfolds. And dude, as well as me, on draft day, like there's always something that, especially in the first round, where you go, what? Like nobody had a first round grade on that guy. Like
I call that the Cole Strange pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like every year there's some move like that that's just
surprise, motherfucker.
Like what the fuck?
That's perfect for us at 33. You want 3 or 4 of those. You want those head scratching moves.
Yeah,
you want them because that means that the options for us will be better at 33.
Yeah, and even with the 16th pick, I want that. I want somebody to take Ty Simpson in the top 10. Please, let's just get that off the board and eliminate that right away.
Yeah. I want there to be a run on positions that we don't need. I want there to be a couple tackles that go early, right? That means there's a better chance of the receivers falling to us.
Right.
I don't want Kansas City to take Sadiq because I think there's a better chance than he then falls to us. So, I mean, those are the storylines within the story that is the NFL draft. You want the best possible options for us at 16. And if there's 2 or 3 tackles that go, that's a better scenario for us. If 2 safeties go, that could be a better scenario for us because it means now there's a better chance of the wide receivers making it. You want there to be a run on defensive ends. Like you want a Keldrick Falk to maybe go higher than you think he would.
Yeah.
Or Mesidor, right? Whoever it is. Like you want another DN to go. So this way, if you take Reese, now there's a run on a position that we already drafted.
Yeah, and the thing is I've done so many mocks now, and dude, they all look completely different from one another. Some I'm taking Thieneman at 16. Some of them it's Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Some of them it's Colton Hood. Like it's all over the place, but there's always options with those top 4 picks. It seems like there's always good options for the Jets that are there with each of those picks. Like maybe we don't get Thieneman. You know what? We could end up with Emmanuel McNeil Warren and Jacob Rodriguez. You know what? Those 2 guys combined for 22 turnovers they caused during their college careers. That's something we could sorely use with this team. Yeah, so there's a lot of options out there. Again, it's going to depend how things unfold, but I'm looking forward to this year. I know somebody else that's looking forward to this year, and he's been waiting a little while to come on. Let me bring on our first caller, Mikey Midnight. What is up, buddy? And now he's not there. Mikey, try to call back in, and I'll get you right on. He was just there, and then I went to add him, and he disappeared. All right, let me try this again.
Hey, I'm here. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Take the hat off. The hat's blocking the internet.
Yeah, I got the hat. Rickie, New York hat.
Hey, how you doing, Mikey?
Good. I'm not drinking beer anymore. I drink this now.
What is that, vodka?
No, Forest, Poland.
Good, Mikey.
No,
That's good. You know, I don't drink either. I don't drink at all.
strawberry, no sugar, no sugar. No sugar, Alex. Like,
That's good.
yeah, I
That's good, man.
decided
Take-
I want to lose weight. I'm at 170 now. I could be 150 like I was before. I need 20 more pounds. My friends go walk with me so I can lose the 20 pounds.
Well, that's good. I want you to take care of yourself. I'm glad to see you're back home and out of the
Yeah.
hospital, man.
And
I was worried about you.
Nick trying to walk my ass up. Nick trying to walk my ass up.
I did nothing to your ass, Michael.
No, you know, you woke me up. Realize.
I'm glad to hear that. You got to put
I
the
am
work in,
too.
buddy.
No, I meant you woke me up to reality.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Hey, I think you know the Jets should get number 2. I think
Who?
Bailey's gonna be number 2 now. Bailey's gonna be number 2 now.
You think so?
Yeah, Bailey is a maniac. I saw him on TV. He's like a maniac ready to happen.
He
And
is.
we go get Ty Sitson and number 16. Ty Sitson and number 16.
I'm not really a fan of Simpson myself. You know what? I have a really funny feeling that Arizona is going to take Simpson at 3, and that discussion is going to end like before.
What about Tom Brady? Stinks. Tom Brady stinks.
Yes, he does.
What about the guy from Penn State? I want the guy from Penn State instead.
The guard?
The quarterback.
Oh, Drew Aller?
Yeah, he's gonna be good. Yeah, the quarterback.
It's going to be,
Yeah.
you know what? It's going to be very interesting to see what the Jets do at quarterback. I guarantee, I can tell you one thing 100% with certainty right now. Whoever the quarterback is that the Jets end up selecting during this draft, the fan base is going to fucking hate it. It doesn't, I already know. We are going to hear
Rickie, I like the
complaints.
hat you gave me. I like
Thank
the
you,
hat
Mikey.
you gave me.
No problem. I'm glad to help you
I
guys
want to
out
get a
with
Nick
whatever.
Strine's hat. Can I have a Nick Strine hat? Can I have a Nick Strine hat?
When I come out with them, Mikey, you can get one. You
There
go 6 months without drinking, Mikey. I'll send you a sweatshirt, a T-shirt, a hat, everything.
Yeah, I'm not
There you
drinking
go.
anymore because I want to lose weight. My pants are falling down. Already.
Well, it's a Saturday night. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I love you
absolutely.
Tom Brady, I think did the Yankees win tonight? I did say the
It
Yankee
just
game.
started a little while ago. It was 0-0
Yeah.
in the second.
Oh, okay. I love you guys. I do love you guys.
Love you too, Mikey.
We love you too, Mikey, man. Thanks for calling in. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad
I
to hear from you.
promised you. I did promise you. You like my mustache? You like my mustache?
Yes, I do. Looks good.
Yankees
I
are up
love
2-1
you.
right now, Mikey, in the top of the 5th. So they finally gave up a run this year after 21 innings.
Well, that's
Wow.
okay. We going. Yankees go win the World Series. Yankees go win the World Series. The Yankees go win the World Series.
And how are the Jets going to do this year, Mikey? How many wins do you think they'll have?
They go win 11 games. 11 games. 11.
Wow. Okay. I'll take that. I will take that all day long. Absolutely.
I can't trust Mikey's math though, because there's a lot of times you ask him how many beers have you had, and he always says just 2, but it's way more. We might win more than 11 games. His math is always a little off.
Well, that sounds good to me. That absolutely sounds good to me.
11 games, the Jets. Jets, Jets.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you calling in like always, dude. All right. And next up, we got Eli Betts. What's up, dude?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
What's up,
Good,
brother?
man. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to see 2 Titans on the same screen together.
I'm not that
Hell
old,
yeah.
man. They were the Jets when I was born. I'm not that old, bro. Rickie might be, but I'm not.
No, you guys are great. I love the work you guys do, and I just wanted to give you guys your flowers. So,
Thank you, man.
Right on, man. Appreciate it, dude. Definitely. Been a while.
yeah,
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the off-season moves?
man, I love what Mougey's doing, but I'm exhausted with this draft talk. I know it's pretty much what we got to do, but the draft
That's because
can't be
it
here
started mid-September.
soon enough. Yeah, that's the Jets' fault, not your guys' fault. You can only do and talk about so much. So yeah, I'm just ready for it to be here and for us to react to it.
I was in Fort Lauderdale after they lost to the Dolphins, and I was like, I might do a mock draft tonight. We're 0-3 now. Braylon Allen's out for the season.
Yeah, once 0-7 hit, it was time for mock season, and once the trades went through, that distracted us for a minute, but we got right back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of us have draft fatigue right now, but you're right. Like, I mean, I remember sitting there and like my stomach is just hurting, and I'm thinking, is it because of all the, Halloween candy that we didn't give away that I'm eating, or is it because of this Jets football that I'm watching? But here it is, early November, and we're mock drafting already. And think about it. We've been doing 6 months of mock drafts, which I have not done one on this channel yet. I have not done that to you guys. However, that is coming up. I believe I'm doing my first mock draft next week. So what I will promise you is it's going to go faster than most mock drafts that you watch, because I usually know who I want and what options are likely to be there, at least with those top 4 picks. So I go through them real quick. Like, I'm not, one of the guys that like, show me this, show me that, and indecisive with my choices. I get it over with, and then I give you more in like breaking each of those picks down on the evaluation side of it as to the actual picking. So
You go through the mock drafts quicker than J3 Siblings goes through his tiny blunts, huh?
oh, not that quick. His are
Not that
pretty
quick.
tiny.
Okay. Trying to judge the timeline.
Yeah, those are real tiny. So
Nice.
but right on, man. I think we'll all be glad to get this over with. But I mean, as much as that, like, I'm excited to see what pieces they do add. Like, I've played out so many different scenarios, and while all of them look good and all of them kind of help to say complete this team, I want to know exactly what that looks like. I want spoilers. Like, I want to know now. Like, I'm antsy. I'm ready to get this thing on. I'm ready to give me the card. I'll go ahead and march it up there now. Let's just give us our guys now. I'm ready to do it.
Yeah, as much as we all want the players that we like, and I say this all the time. It doesn't matter if you're right or I'm right or anyone in the chat is right. We need Mougey and Glenn to be right. That's all that matters. Like, you know what I mean? I said get rid of Rodgers and bring in Justin Fields. It was a fucking disaster. So it doesn't matter if any of us are right. We need the Jets to be right. That's the most important thing. There's been too many years and too many squandered opportunities and too many wasted draft picks because they were wrong. They got to be right. And I don't care if I'm wrong on all 4 of my picks for the top 4. I don't care if they pick a guy that I don't like. be fucking right. That's all that matters, is them being right.
You're spot on, Nick. And I think that's what we all want. We want these, especially the first 4 picks, to be home run hits, and everybody has an opinion, and we never seem to agree on a certain set of opinions. So there's always back and forth, but I believe in Mougey. I was pretty critical of AG, but he's shown some accountability, and he's making the moves, and so we'll just see how it goes, and I hope we get it right.
Yeah, I do too, but I mean, to echo what Nick said, like, even if those top 4 picks are like none of the guys that I wanted or predicted, I don't care, as long as we get 4 good football players that are going to help this team. Like, that's all that matters to me. I want this team to get significantly better through this draft, and whatever path they take to accomplish that, I'm okay with it, as long as we get that result.
I agree. Real quick, guys, I wanted to give a shout out to Mikey. Congrats on dropping 20 pounds. Stay strong, man, and we all love you. And I'm gonna go lift some weights, guys. So have a great show. I'll be tuning in.
Before you go, thank
Yes.
you for contributing and helping out my daughter's softball team. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's no problem, Nick. And I appreciate what you do for your community, and Rickie, I appreciate what you do for your community. So any way we can give back, we will. So
Thanks, buddy. You're the best.
I appreciate
Have a
you
good
guys.
workout.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you.
Right on, man. Have a great weekend.
You know what we need, Rickie?
What's
we
that?
Need players. You know what we need? We need players who score touchdowns as frequently as Aaron Judge hits home runs, because he's got 2 in 3 games, Rickie.
Oh God, wouldn't that be nice, man?
Imagine a Jet having 2 touchdowns before the end of September.
Oh, dude, I remember those days. Like, those like late 90s. Like, I'm not like some of the fans. Like, Sack Exchange was technically before I was a Jets fan. The Super Bowl happened when I was 1 year old. Like, I didn't become a Jets fan until 98. And maybe that skewed my perspective a little bit, because like our first year AFC Championship game, and for a decade we were in the playoffs more than we were out, and I thought that's what being a Jets fan was like. And then all of a sudden now it's going on 15 years, no playoffs, and it's like, what is this shit? Like, but I remember those days, the Curtis Martin days, Lavernius Coles days, when we were just, we would score all the time. And
how about just being a favorite in a game? How about having a game where you're a favorite, or like a road favorite? Like, those are the days I'm looking forward to. Like, the Jets are on the road, doesn't matter. They're favored by 5.5.
Dude, like, I remember like sitting in a torrential downpour, and I'm talking, you could literally not see 10 feet in front of you, much less watch a football game, and wringing out my shirt before the first quarter was even over with. And then by the third quarter, ending, the rain had stopped, but it was that game where Curtis Martin threw the touchdown pass to Corbett, and it was in Tampa Bay. It was here where I live. And
it was mid-October of 2000, if I'm correct.
Watching that game in person, but what a lot of people don't remember about this game, the Bucs and the Jets were the 2 only undefeated teams in the NFL at that time when they played that game. They were both 4-0. Dude, we just had a 3-win season. Like 4-0 seems like a foreign language to me right now, for goodness sakes.
I would love to have 5 wins. My birthday is October 18th. So I always look at and make fun of, there's been many years where I'm doing mock drafts before mid-October. I would love to have 5 wins by mid-October again.
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like mid-October, we need to have at least 4. But yeah, and you know what? I think we can get there. I think with just decent quarterback play, we can get there. And I think we can get that out of Geno. Like I said earlier, like, we're not banking on him to become something that he's never been. We just need him to be what he already is, and we should be okay. And even he referenced the weapons that they have here. So The one thing I'm really looking forward to is AD Mitchell and Garrett on the field at the same time. Like AD Mitchell.
And plus whoever we add to that, right?
Yeah, and whoever we add. Because AD Mitchell, he got separation against number 1 corners. Like now he'll be doing it against number 2s. Like now they won't be able to focus on him because Garrett's out there. And plus whoever we add and Mason Taylor, like it's going to put stress on opposing defenses like we have not been able to do before. And, you know, if I can say anything about this draft cycle, at least it hasn't gotten nasty like the last couple of ones before.
Oh, you don't think so?
Not as bad, dude.
Really?
The Bowers draft was like there were people that were wanting to meet in a parking lot somewhere and settle it. Like
I think it's starting to be
ugly.
like that with Bailey versus Reese on Twitter.
Well, yeah, Twitter's kind of its own world and it gets pretty fucking rowdy. But you know, like even like, you know, the Robbie Sabo Tanky V Reese and Bailey debate on Jake's show was moderate compared to some of those Brock Bowers fights that went on. And I get it. Like we each have prospects we fall in love with and whatever. Like usually for me, those are the guys that the Jets don't pick. Like I've only been right twice ever in my life about draft picks. Jordan Travis and unfortunately Deron Lee, the linebacker from Ohio State that we drafted that turned out to not really be very good.
One guy had his career killed and the other guy killed after his career.
Yes. So at any rate, yeah, you know what?
When you look at the debate, right? Like you bring up the Bowers debate. I think the Bowers debate in our community was so volatile because Gary was spearheading it and Gary would call in every day and fight with everyone about it. So I think that's why it got that. But if you go on Twitter and anyone who posts that they want Reese or if they want Bailey, there's personal attacks, there's discrediting people. It's a fucking war zone on X right now. People are
really
that it's okay to not want a player that someone else wants and not have to do personal attacks, not have to degrade anybody. It's just okay to say this is why I want this player, and that's it. But people can't do that, man. They take it personally.
Well, I have seen some people trying to, I guess, discredit what's being said about players. But I didn't realize it had gotten that nasty. But, dude, I don't know. Like, to me, I don't care about who looks like they have bend versus a cone and a drill. Like, I judge by what I see on the tape. And you know what? If people want to talk about drills, like, look at David Bailey at the Combine. Those change of direction drills, he was falling down every time he had to stop on a dime and change direction. Like, that didn't look good. But at the end of these days, these drills are meaningless. What matters is what happens on the football field. Watching Arvell Reese, like his lateral movement, his change of direction, like he moves extremely well. The kid's only 20 years old and not exaggerating. You know, I wasn't a real big Reese fan at the beginning of this process, but after watching a bunch of tape over and over and over again, like if to say that he's the strongest 20-year-old I've ever seen pound for pound is not an exaggeration. Like
Brock Lesnar has entered the chat.
I didn't see that one though, but
here's the thing,
dude,
right?
So yeah,
when you look at, we're breaking down all of these players and we're putting our feelings, our thoughts, our assessments, our wants, our desires on that. We don't know what the Jets want. Do the Jets want another speedy guy off the edge? Then you go with Bailey. Do you want that jack of all trades who can eventually maybe promote into that edge rusher? You go with Reese. Do you want to trade out? We don't know their thought process. When you look at everything they've done and everything they've added, there's two schools of thought. There's a fork in the road. Bain fits everything they've brought in with physically dominant players. Bailey would be the guy to complement that with his speed. Reese is the guy who could end up being both in one. So when you're looking at what do they want, Reese is the guy who could maybe do it all. And I think you take that chance on the guy because I don't diminish Bailey's skill set when I say one trick pony, but his speed is an elite trick and it's very valuable. But I just think that Reese can do that. Reese can play the run. Reese can cover. Reese can blitz. Reese can do it all. And he's been asked to do it all. And whatever you ask him to do, I think he'll be great at.
Right. I think he's going to be a real good player. And the thing is to me, he can be an every down player. Like if Bailey, he can't improve his run defense and he has to come off the field. Like, dude, I don't want to spend a number 2 overall pick on a rotational player that's not going to play every snap. So that's what really separates the two for me. That being said, like, dude, I just want them to get guys that improve this team. Like, period. I just want this team to be better. Thinking about it right now, as we're talking about it, I think I'm going to start posting stuff on Twitter with that, like, at New York Jets thing, so I can make sure they see it, and saying that I really want them to draft like some other like red herring player that's not who I want, but knowing that they'll do the opposite, maybe it'll increase my chances. Because, dude, I want Thieneman, but it seems like most of my life as a Jets fan, I've wanted a safety, and they don't take one. You know, one year it was Earl Thomas. One year
they took 2.
You know, and you know what? And then Florida State has got Derwin James. He's this beast safety. And I'm like, hell yeah, I can't wait till the draft next year when he comes out. And the year prior, we take 2 safeties in the first 2 rounds, ensuring that we would not get him. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. And one of them's a Florida Gator on top of it. I'm like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And on top of it, and I know that a lot of Jets fans are going to say something when I mention the name Dalvin Cook, but coming out of college, rookie Dalvin Cook, when he still had all the juice, dude, when they took Marcus May and Dalvin Cook was still on the board, I went on a tirade. I'm surprised that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I'm surprised everything didn't ban me, because it was nothing short of verbal terrorism. I called the Jets every name in the fucking book. Said I would do all kinds of horrible things to them and everybody they knew. Like I lost my mind. But
and Rickie, just to play the song for everyone, if you root for Florida State, what do you do?
Oh, hold on. Crap. I've got to scroll up and find it. It is shit. Where? Oh, there it is.
I'm Rickie, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State. I really love Florida State. Hey, easy tongues, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, G.
By the way, speaking of smoking and debating, on the 11th, our next Saturday show, which is the 11th of April, I will have this guy, Dylan Terraman, is returning to the show to do a draft deep dive with me and break down some prospects for you guys. No Florida State prospects for the Jets this year. Not a single one that I would touch. Next year, different story. But
Matt Jackson, the defensive lineman? If he falls?
Maybe if he falls, but dude, I gotta be honest with you. Like the last 2 years, I expected so much from him, and he was solid. I guess he was consistent, but he just didn't jump off the tape the way that I had hoped he would. And I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh, but like Dude, let me tell you what, there's a lot of defensive linemen that came from Florida State that I loved and wanted the Jets to draft. Brian Burns, Jermaine Johnson, Jared Verse, even though I knew we wouldn't take him because we didn't really need him. But just unfortunately, he's not one of them.
That's fair. He's the only Florida State player I know of in the first 4 rounds. Most of my mocks I only do to round 4, sometimes 5. But he's a player that I see pop up from Florida State often. And before free agency, I would grab him sometimes if he was there in the hundreds.
Right. And you've got Luke Pettibon, their center, who's, good in the pass game, a little bit limited in the run game. But he's like a 5th or 6th round pick. Aside from that, you got like maybe some chump DBs that are like 7th round picks or something. Like there's really not really anybody notable. Now, Deuce Robinson, when I thought he was going to come out, the big 6'6" receiver, that can move. He was like a Biletnikoff Award finalist, one of the top receivers in the country. Like I would have been all over that, but almost immediately he announced he was going back to school. So at that point, I was like, "Oh, that's it for me. No Florida State guys this year." But you know what? There's plenty of other guys, and man, I want Tina.
I want them to get players who have played in big games. I want them to get players from big conferences who week after week in practice and on game day are going against elite competition that goes to the NFL. Like that's what I want.
Dude, there's always those prospects that people fall in love with, or that one highlight that stands out. Dude, like for me, that highlight of Dylan Thieneman where he's like at the right hash mark and he runs all the way to the left sideline to snag this pick against Penn State right before it goes out of bounds. Like that's like the Zach Wilson pro day throw for me. Like I keep picturing that. I'm thinking, God, I really want that on our back end. And hey, we got one more caller, Kyle Clifton. What's happening, dude?
What's going on, fellas?
Not a whole lot. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm actually already in bed. It's been a long day. But the one thing I wanted to call
you have your bed in your living room?
No. Now, the thing that spurred me to call in was the kind of reliving the Bowers versus Membu debate, right? So neither side was really wrong because they both turned out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I will say is one side was more right than the other. And the people who wanted Membu, and I was not one of them, were correct.
You know what? I have to admit, I was not one of them either, and I was dead wrong. Membu going out there as a rookie in his very first game against the current NFL sack holder, record holder, and he just stalemated him. I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
And he pancaked him a couple times, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude,
like he drove his ass to the ground.
Right. But I can say that because, I don't think it's worthy of me, hanging a scarlet L around my chest for taking the loss, right? Because, yes, Bowers was a unique weapon, and we could have used a unique weapon. And, yes, we probably could have gotten a decent right tackle and a round or two later. That both things can be true.
Well, being Jets fans, let's stick with what we know. It was Olu or Bowers, and then it was Membu or Warren. Well, let's go Vega Sadiq.
Right. I was mixing my tight ends there. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think I might have a tight end fetish. Because they're not going to go there.
That's what she said.
Yeah, because the last two cycles, I actually like Colston Loveland better.
Okay.
Really?
Than I did, yeah. But I mean, for him to really work, he's working perfectly in the system he is now because he's got the best play caller in the league.
Right.
Yeah, but Bowers.
Really?
Yeah,
Putting Ben Johnson above Sean McVay and Andy Reid?
I think he's up there. I mean,
And Shanahan
Well,
and LaFleur?
yeah, he's up. He's there.
You're putting Ben Johnson that high already?
Yep.
Wow.
he's
Do
up
you
there.
think that there's a more downtrodden franchise? Well, maybe there's us and the Browns, right? But the Chicago Bears is right up there.
Dude, the Raiders are
Yeah,
pretty
but
awful.
I'm naming coaches that have won or been to Super Bowl as play callers. McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur's gone deep, hasn't gotten there. And Andy Reid, obviously, over the course of 30 years, I think is the best play caller like we've ever seen in professional sports.
Right. I mean, it might have been hyperbole, but like he would say that he's the up and comer coaching where football's going.
Yes,
But,
yeah, he's tremendous. But
right,
I value my top fives, whether we're discussing cereal, movies, wrestlers, whoever it is. Like I'm very serious on my top 5 list. Rappers, whatever it may be.
Yeah. To me personally, I think McVay is number 1 right now in the league if I had to rank them. But Ben Johnson's definitely top 5. Absolutely. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have to remember about these debates. So many times, like in retrospect, both these guys end up turning out, or if it's and then, or maybe sometimes there's 3 people involved in the discussion and one of them doesn't turn out. But people advocating, passionately on behalf of one player or the other doesn't really mean much. All it means is that they have a different vision of how the team is going to be for going forward. Right? It's not personal or anything like that. It's just that you have a different vision of how the Jets should build. And to me, like, I get what people are saying about Sadiq a year after Mason Taylor. I don't think we've seen the best from Mason Taylor yet, but I also know that tight ends that run 4.39s don't grow on trees either. So yeah, it's just that, like, when you look at some of the measurables and the measurables, Vernon Golston was a measurables guy, right? There aren't too many guys that can kind of match up with what Kenyon Sadiq put up at the combine, right? And we already know from that he was a guy that got progressively better as the season went along with Oregon. I think he's a pretty good football player. I don't know if he's the best pick at 16. I think he's going to be an option. So
he's kind of a head case too, though, isn't he?
I think that he's someone who has shown improvement in that area.
Okay.
Like
I know I had heard that, and I hadn't really dug that much into that side of it.
I think it was more stuff like he wasn't quite reaching his potential, and I think we've started to see it, right?
Yeah, I don't mean like bad guy. I meant kind of like immature guy, but
right
on. Okay.
Like it seems like he's a guy that started to get his head screwed on straight and is showing more of like a professional mean. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now, I do. We need pass catchers for sure. I don't think they would use one of those high picks on a tight end because they did just use one on Taylor. However, whether it's taking 33 or 44 or something and moving back some or moving up some from 103, like in that 70 to 80 range, there are guys that I would love for them to take. Justin Jolie, really explosive, good pass catcher, would be insane across from Mason Taylor. Would love that. Max Clare, Ohio State tight end, another Ohio State tight end, but dude, really well-rounded, really good. Wouldn't mind that at all either. And then you've got like 6'6" Tanner Koziel from Houston.
He's going to be later, right?
Yeah, and also later you got Marlon Klein from Michigan. That I'll tell you what, that guy, he could block in the NFL right now, and he gives you a little bit as a pass catcher. But if they're looking at a later round tight end, a guy to primarily block, that can also catch, like that would be a really good pick. there's also Daquan Wright from Ole Miss, who's probably even a little bit later than that. But there's definitely options at tight end. So
I think that the 10 is it the 103 pick, that might be better value for where to take the tight end down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if somehow like Max Clare, who's like ranked somewhere in the 90s on most of the simulators I see, if somehow he slipped down to 103, I would take him without a second's hesitation.
I'm trying to think of the guy that I'm trying to get more information on. Is it the Utah tight end, Dallin? What is his name?
Utah.
Is it? It's not Bailey, but it's something like that.
It's like Bennett or Bailey or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Is it Bentley?
Bentley.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like the car.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, there are guys out there, but it's one of those things where, what's your flavor and when do they come off? Like everything else. Yeah, that's all I wanted to just kind of chime in with is like, yeah, these debates get heated, like, but then some of the arguments become like, well, Simpson is the same size as Aaron Rodgers. Well, that's true, but at this point, Aaron Rodgers has a Hall of Fame career behind him, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of 2020 hindsight at this point, right? Like, I think that Rodgers was probably a better thought of prospect, and he still fell. So,
Well, yeah, but I'm the same size as Danny Woodhead. That doesn't mean I could go out there and play like him.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, especially for a quarterback, it's something to consider, right? The players only get bigger and stronger, right? And there's not too many guys in the Hall of Fame that are wearing a size 40 jacket. So it's just a matter of he's definitely going to get a chance to acquit himself in the league. He's definitely got the stuff between the ears, I think. It's just a matter of whether he can deal with New York and whether he has the physicality to do it. I just don't know. I don't know. It's a risk proposition for me at 16. I would rather run the card up at 33, but I don't think he's going to be there.
Right. Well, it's so hard to say. Like we were saying earlier, there's going to be some head scratchers. Some guys are going to fall. Some guys are going to go way earlier. You just never know, and we just got to kind of wait and see how it unfolds. Yeah, yep. I mean, I'll admit, there, as I've done mocks these last few years, like, I think it was the year of the Bowers draft where even I myself got really, really invested in like the guys I kept mocking to the Jets. And looking back, I'll be the first to admit my first 4 rounds are usually real solid, and then rounds 5, 6, and 7 have not turned out very well at all. Deeper guys that I projected that I thought could maybe take a step and at least become solid rotational play. Some of them just didn't. And so, dude, it's hard to hit on all your picks, but the point is you got to hit on those top ones. And they have to hit on those top
being right sucks sometimes. I had back then in the Mims being our first and second round pick back in the day in 2020. Where was I? I was in Keensburg. It was 2020. And when we traded back in round 2, I was furious because I thought we lost out on Mims. And we got him. So, sometimes being right is wrong.
Well, you know what? I think I brought this up on my last show whenever Boy Green was here. Like, this seems like the year for reunions where we got Gino and DeMario Davis back. And, I say
Frank Reich.
I say that history repeats itself. Well, following the Jalen Waddle trade, I figured Mougey would use his Denver connections and the Jets would once again have a wide receiver named Mims on our roster. And thus far, that has not transpired. But depending on what happens in the draft, I still think that could be a very strong possibility, because suddenly Marvin Mims is like the A.D. Mitchell of Denver. Like suddenly their receiver room is a little bit too crowded for him to have a role. And he's a good friggin' player. But they've got Troy Franklin. They've got Jalen Waddle. They've got Cortland Sutton. Like, you know, when is Marvin Mims Jr. going to get his snaps? So I think it's very possible that after the draft, if we don't get enough receiver help to make the team happy, I think that it's very possible we could once again have a receiver named Mims.
And what do you think that would cost us?
Probably a mid to late pick. Like I wouldn't see Mougey giving up anything more than a 4. Hell, it could be later than that. He's made some surprising trades.
Right. All right, fellas. I just wanted to chime in there because, yeah, I do agree. Like, those debates can get kind of heated. And, you know, to me, it's not necessarily about being right. It's about getting better. Yeah. You know, I'll be the first to admit it. I was wrong on, you know, kind of favoring tight end over Membu. I don't think I was necessarily. I understood the Fashano pick a little bit better because it was a left tackle, and you know, it's just that you get these players and you get kind of enamored of what you might be able to do with them, and we have been sorely in need of weapons for the last few years. So,
well, the thing is, something, Kyle?
Yes, what's up, man?
Kyle Clifford calls in. It's Bailey's on the bed.
I think in all fairness, though, had we taken Bowers or Ty Warner, you know, one of those tight ends, with our quarterback situation being what it is, those tight ends would not have flourished the way that they did when we say, look what we could have had. If they would have been with us, they probably wouldn't have been that. Whereas Membu was with us and did flourish in his role. So
yeah, no, it turned out Membu was the pick, right? So
yeah, and I'm perfectly okay being wrong, because like now I love Membu. He's a stud. Like, for a long time I said, yeah, we need to get like our Lane Johnson to anchor that right side across from whoever our left tackle is. And lo and behold, like, Membu looks really, really good.
And I'll tell you something else. I think Fashano's played fairly well over his first 2 years, and I think his best football's ahead of him. So,
yeah, I do too. And even though they only overlapped for 1 year, Ione was at one time Olu's teammate. So right. Who knows? Maybe yet another reunion is in store. But, dude, thank you for calling in. It's always great to hear from you. I like it when you call in, because your opinions are usually not only very interesting, but very different from my own. And I don't want to just say the same thing, to people every week. I want to have different perspectives, and you usually come with one. A very different perspective, but a very educated one as well. So thank you for calling in, man. Always appreciate the takes.
All the best to you guys. Be good.
Kyle, when you come on my show, I just want you to agree with me, okay?
Believe me, I know that's the easiest way to get off.
Whoa, hey.
Talk to you later.
Great call.
Oh, good, awesome. And he softballed me that's what she said. Opportunity right there at the end. Perfect way to tie a bow on this thing. Awesome, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. Appreciate it. With my schedule being as crazy as it is, and your schedule, it was hard to get this figured out, but I'm glad we finally had you on. It was a blast.
I said earlier, now that I've worked days, I can get shit done during the week, which frees up my weekends, because when I'm working 2:30 to 11, I'm running from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night on weekends. And there's times where couldn't even get home from my show on Sunday at 8 and have to push it back or even cancel. So this opens me up a lot more to my time being available. And I know they're going to say something in the chat about me saying this opens me up more, but my time is open up more, you sick bastards. And I love all of you.
So now that you have this extra time on your hands, what does the Nick Shine Show have coming up?
We'll be on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And I'm doing 3 days of 12 hours this week. So we're going to play it by ear for the week. But please subscribe to the Nick Shine Show if you haven't already. Follow me on X, the Nick Shine Show. And yeah.
And you can find the link to Nick's X as well as the link to his YouTube channel in the description for this video. So I would imagine that if you're watching me right now, the chances are that you probably are subscribed to Nick's channel. But if you're not, make sure to do that. Definitely one of the best Jets content creators on YouTube. Big help to me. Here is my own show schedule for April. But yeah, man, I've got kind of a crazy alternating schedule. So I got to kind of post my schedule once in a while so people know where to find me. But the easiest way to find me or to find Nick or to find any of us Jets content creators is to subscribe to the channel. If you're a subscriber, you can get a notification anytime that I'm on and you'll never miss a show, which is important because we got lots of good stuff coming your way. We're going to do our first mock draft coming up this week. We've got a lot of draft content coming up. Dylan Terriman coming back on April 11th and a lot of good stuff in store. Some more guests that I'm working on as well. But thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you, Nick, for joining me. Everybody have a great weekend. And until next time, like always, go Jets.
Thank you. Good night. We love you all.